Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how I do this summery poppy look, and I am very excited about this because I am in love with this lipstick and with this shadow, and just all about it makes me scream summer all over. So keep watching if you want to know how I do this. So as you know, we're going to start with priming, and I am keeping faithful to the Laura Mercier foundation primer and the hydrating version because it's so like moisture quenching, and my skin has been really dry even though it has been breaking out. And this is like a second layer of moisturizer, so it feels really good and it keeps my skin really dewy and fresh. And I'm gonna follow up with the Dior pore minimizer, as you do, because even though my skin is heavily dehydrated, my pores are really huge and I do get the occasional shine. So if you see me looking sideways, it's because I'm looking at the mirror, but don't mind it. So yeah, really quick base, and I'm gonna follow up with my favorite BB cream, and this is the Herborian 5-in-1 Total Sheer Makeup Care Cream Baby Skin Effect, and this is the lightest shade, which is clear. And I love this because on my skin it really feels like a second layer of skin, and if you've seen my other tutorials, you know that I love it. And you can probably see that it has a very sheer effect, and this is great when you apply it with your hands, but it does have a very sheer effect. But when you're looking for a really casual look, this goes on really perfectly, and it really gives you that baby effect skin, like you have no foundation or BB cream on. I have been having some breakouts, and I don't know if you can see them, but there has been some redness on my face. But I still prefer to go for a sheer look and a sheer coverage when it's so hot outside, because otherwise it just gets really cakey. So now I'm going for the under eye concealer, and I'm still using the Clarin Instant Concealer in the shade 1. This is great, really creamy, really smoothing, and it doesn't set into fine lines, and it lasts a long time. So I probably have like really dark circles because I slept really bad this night, but you can probably see how this really helps just right away, right? It just really helps. So with the eyes, the first thing I'm gonna do is prime them, and I'm using the Urban Decay Eden one, which I love for hotter days because it really doesn't melt down. And this has a little bit of coverage. I just pat down like that until it gets all even and stuff. So now I'm going with the eyeshadow, and this is a cream one that I absolutely adore. It's the Shiseido shimmering cream eye color in the shade Sunshower, and it's this beautiful toasted rose. I mean, like an antique rose that is it has golden and bronze hues, and it's shimmering and it's very creamy and easy to apply. And you want to make sure that your primer is already set and dry because you don't want to drag it out. So I just tap that, and this is great for if you want like a one wash wonder. I rather tap it with my finger than use a brush because I really want to feel like it settles there. So now my two eyes are done with the cream shadow, and I am adding just a little bit of glitter, and this is totally optional, but I love glitter, especially in the summer. So I am adding a bit of the eyeshadow Trick from the Naked 3. This is basically the same color, just more glittery. And it just gives a little bit of more of a wow impression. So I love this shadow. I just use it so much. So that was a quick, easy eye, just 2 shadows, and one of them was cream, so that's peachy. And I'm gonna go into my 3-step lash stuff. And you know how I do this, so let's go. I'm using the primer here, and this is the Jane Iredale Pure Lash Conditioner. This really helps to give my lashes some form. They're really flat and thin, so I got to thicken them up somehow, and my 3-step program is amazing for that. And if you have flat lashes, please give this 3-step a go because it's amazing. So I have 2 coats of primer on my lashes right now, and just as I let that set in a bit, I'm gonna go with my powder. And as always, I am using the By Terry Hydra powder, which is pretty damn good. It gives you that, also that baby skin effect, and it's not as drying as a powder usually is, but it still sets everything in. So now I'm going with the highlighter, and even though it's a cream-based highlighter, I like to use it over the powder. I don't really powder my cheeks much because they're really dry, so I kind of just do this over the powder. And this is the Jouer highlighter in the shade Champagne, and it's really a bronzy highlighter. I usually use like really silvery one, but as it is summer, I am thinking this is pretty much what you need. It's a little bit bronzy, especially on the nose. Here it gives you that sun-kissed look, which I absolutely adore. Even though I don't tan much, I absolutely love that sun-kissed look. So I put it on my cheekbones, the nose, and a little bit in my brow bone. And now I am gonna go in with the mascara, and this is obviously the L'Oreal Telescopic original one. And this is basically the only mascara I can use. So I'm gonna use this little mirror in the Naked so I don't poke my eyes out. But yes, I put it over the primer very carefully and trying not to stain the lid. So 2 coats of mascara later, and I did stain my lids a little bit, but that's okay because we'll go in later and fix that. And you still know how I do my brows. I use this to shade Catrice eyebrow powder, and I use this darker one because my hair is brown and I like really strong darker brows. And I use this little spoolie and dip it in there like so. And I do this, and I try just to brush them casually because I don't like really drawn in eyebrows. I like them really natural and wily. So this creates like a fuller effect. If you have already like really dense brows like mine, there's no need to really draw them in with cream or something. This creates a fuller effect, but with a very, very natural look. So we're done with the powder, and before I settle with the eye gel, I like to, because my mascara is nearly drying, and I like to, you know, cup my lashes, as you do. I've showed you this before. I do this and then I cup them because I'm not into eyelash curlers. I think they're very damaging and my lashes are weak enough. So if you do this, you will be setting the mascara dry in that position. It never gets in this exact position, but it helps a lot. And my top coat is actually called a primer. It's the Still Lauder Little Black Primer. I love this. This is like, as I've told you, for me it works so much better as a top coat. It is black and it just holds a curl so much longer and so much better than the mascara by itself, and it gives a little more volume as well, and it's just so beautiful. See how big and curly they get? It's amazing because mine are really flat. Only one coat of top coat and I am setting my brows. and this is the Benefit Gimme Brow in the shade Blonde. This has a little spoolie that is very practical, and it has like not a gel-ish texture. It has a really fibery texture, which is great because it doesn't look, you know, like you got gel on your brows. And it also gives a little bit of a tint. And now I just, with the regular spoolie, I just set them straight. And they get really beautiful and framing my face. Okay, so now I just like to cup the lashes again as the top coat is drying. They get really voluminous and beautiful and everything you could ever ask for in lashes. As a blush, I'm using again the Clinique Glow, which is this one, the bronzy one. And I love this shade. It's so easy to work with. It's pigmented, but it's very blendable, and it's really foolproof because it's just, you can see it, right? I hope you can. So just blend it in and use how much of it you want to. I think this is pretty good for me, and I also like just to give it a little bit to the tip of the nose because it gives you that sun-kissed look, as I've mentioned. The only thing that's left to do on my face besides the lipstick is covering the spots. And for that, I'm using the Better Elite lip brush. I think lip brushes are usually better than detailed concealing brushes because they're more pointy and, you know, they're more detailed. I have some detailed concealing brushes and I don't like any of them. There may be exceptions, but usually a lip brush is really accurate. And I am using the OCC Skin Conceal in the shade Y0, and I had to depot it, as you know, so now it's in a little black MAC pot. But I just barely touch it in there because this is so pigmented. I barely touch it in there, and then I just do that over my spots. And if you're wondering, I can't really talk right now, but if you're wondering why I conceal after the powder, it's because I feel like it gives a more long-lasting finish. I mean, if you're gonna conceal like a whole area like the eyes, you probably should do it before the powder, but if you're gonna do just spot concealing, and this is very pasty, doing it after the powder is no big deal at all, and it gives you a much more long-lasting finish. And that is it for the face. Now I'm just gonna go with a cotton bud and a little bit of micellar water. Just dip it in there. Remove the excess and try and delete those little stains of mascara from the lid. So I try to be very careful and not to take any of the eyeshadow with me, but if I occasionally do, that's okay, and if you do as well, that's okay. You just take your brush again, you dip it in the shadow, and you go over there. That's no biggie. So then before I do my lips, I moisturize and scrub them. And I'm using one of the Clinique new lipsticks, and this is the shade Poppy Pop, which is honestly the most beautiful shade of the range to me. The texture of these lipsticks is beyond amazing. It's really creamy and easy to work with and very comfortable. I recommend them to everyone, and they're not really expensive, so there are a lot of shades. Go see if you like some of them, but this is definitely my favorite shade and I will be using it all summer long. So there you go, my hair is out of the hairband and this is what it looks like. I love this look. It's very romantic and chic and summery. Please tell me what you think down below, if you have any of these products and what you think about them, and give this video a thumbs up, of course, always. You can find me on Instagram and on Twitter at smraquelx, and you can also find me on Facebook and on the blog, always. If you have any questions, just drop them down below. So that's really it. Tell me what you think and see you next time.